Welcome to the DNA Show's movie review. Guys, I know you're thinking, what? It's Wednesday. With the conventions the past couple weeks, everything's thrown off. But we saw F1, the new Brad Pitt movie, yesterday. And it's Top Gun Maverick with F1 race cars. It is a cool movie. It is awesome. Dennis, give us the recap. What's F1 about?
Well, F1 is an American sports drama film directed by Josh Kosinski. Yes, the one who did Top Gun Maverick, which is why I was very excited to see it. The story follows Sonny Hayes, played by Brad Pitt. He's a former F1 Formula driver who, after a devastating crash in the 90s, returns to the sport 30 years later to save the struggling APX GP team owned by his own teammate, Ruben, who's played by Javier Bardem. He gets paired with a rookie, and Sonny has to mentor this young talent while confronting his past and pushing the team to compete against the top F1 teams. The cool thing is that the racing sequences were filmed during the real 2023 and 2024 Grand Prix weekends with authentic F1 teams and drivers, including Lewis Hamilton, who also served as a producer. And I know this because my niece is huge into F1, and she sat there and started naming off all the drivers, people in the pit crews. It was like she was very thrilled with that.
Yeah, my daughter who went with me was just kind of like, okay, I'll go see it so you don't see it alone, because Dennis saw it with his niece and nephew and stuff, and I saw it with Courtney. Courtney she just loved it. In the seats, she was just kind of like getting into it and stuff. I've always liked racing. I've watched more NASCAR than this type of stuff. But real quick, before we get back to the review, I am going to watch the F1 race this Sunday. That's at 10 a.m. and it just goes till noon. So I don't know. I'll see how it is. I mean, if I like it, I might watch it because NASCAR seems to go on forever. This race, 2 hours. So we'll see. Brad Pitt, man, it's just like Top Gun Maverick with Tom Cruise. Just a stellar performance playing that freaking grizzled veteran, coming back to the sport, doing it his way. Just some of the thought process going into it when he was racing, because the whole crew itself, except for the lead guy behind the scenes, on the race team, is kind of young. So Brad Pitt's kind of schooling them on tactics and stuff while racing. It's not just about, oh, put this tire on because this is the time it should have this tire and stuff like that. So it had its ups and downs. You know, it's a roller coaster. Like Dennis said, the filming was at real races, and I mean, you felt like you were right there. The one thing that I don't know how they do it. Did you notice that in like at least Brad Pitt's car, there, you know, you're centered in the car, obviously, unlike a real car, but there's like this divider thing, like dead in the center, instead of it just being nice open field of view. And I'm like, that seems to me, I'd be like, that would bother the crap. My OCD would go crazy with that thing right in front of my face. I mean, I know you can see around it, but
now the safety features, I mean, I get it, but you know, the one thing I'll say is the story is gripping.
Yeah.
It has heart all the way through. You like all the characters, and even the ones you want to be pissed at, you're pissed at for a reason. Like Top Gun Maverick, the shooting of the film and the different aspects that they did are stunning. You know, the cockpit ones, the overshots, the way they intermixed them. It was fantastic. It was like seat gripping. And I never thought I would say that about a race movie. There's other movies like Ford versus Ferrari,
Tropic Thunder.
that I've really enjoyed, but this just took it to a whole new level. Brad Pitt is charismatic on the screen. I mean, he just exuded it in this movie. Carrie Condon plays Kate, who's the first female lead tech who developed a car. Their relationship is great. his friendship going back to the 90s when they raced together with Ruben, played by Javier. That was fantastic. Tobias winds up being, the guy behind the scenes who looks like he winds up being a good. Everybody was. This movie gelled in every aspect that the movie could.
Yeah, going back to Kate. So she's from Murderland. No, not Murderland. Duh, I'm confusing. Mobland. She was in that as Tom Hardy's wife, and she's fantastic. I mean, just the two different characters she played, and she, kept her accent and stuff. She wasn't playing an American chick in this movie, and she was fantastic. And she brought a level of smarts to the film with her, her character basically being an engineer and stuff. And but she also brought this just this kind of cuteness to it as well. And like Dennis said, it has the underpinnings of Javier Bardem's not necessarily partner, but he works for the board of this racing company, and this guy is trying to kind of undercut Javier. And if the team doesn't win in the racing, it's actually good for him to sell the team, and then he gets a higher spot and so on and so forth. So you've got that aspect. The actor that played the rookie, it's kind of a trope in a way. The old veteran comes in, and you got the rookie that thinks he knows it all, and they get into a couple of skirmishes and stuff because it's like, what are you trying to do out there on the track? But in the end, Brad Pitt and the guy that plays the rookie, that character, do really bond well and come together, and you see the respect build, for Brad's character. Because, like I said, out of the gate, this rookie's like, yeah, who's the dude walking up to us? It looks like a hobo, that's joining the team. And then just the technical aspects of it too. Just like in Top Gun Maverick, the director really drilled down on that stuff. So you learn some stuff too if you're not that familiar with Formula One racing. And I thought that was really cool. And one of the things that just blows my mind is how fast, and this goes for NASCAR as well, a car will come into the pit and then leave. And at one point it was 7 seconds, and they were complaining because it's like, oh my God, that's double the time. And Courtney, my daughter, was just like, 7 seconds is double the time. And then when they pitted in this one scene and it was like 2.9 seconds, you're just like, holy crap. So it was just fantastic. Perfect movie for going into the month of July 4th weekend and stuff. Even though it's worldwide Grand Prix, it still gave you that nice slice of like, yeah, Americana, Brad Pitt,
No, it was good. Damson Idris played Joshua, the rookie.
Yes.
And you got to experience his character growth throughout it, which was great. His mom is Sarah Niles, which we all loved. And of course, my niece and my sister-in-law were off to my left. And then you could tell she was trying to figure out who it was. And I was like, Ted Lasso. And she, oh, yeah, that's what it was from on there. Mother, she was a great mother, protective of her son. Again, I can't say enough about, I love this movie from beginning to end. Like Top Gun Maverick, in my mind, this is almost a perfect movie.
The next movie this dude needs to make needs to be about, motorcycle racing, where they get so horizontal to the ground when they hit the corners. And it needs to be a couple rookies and two old timers that are great at it come in, and it's Brad Pitt and Tom Cruise as the two old timers. Two different teams going against each other. Let's see these two dudes in a manly flick. All right, let's rate this sucker. CGC rating. That's where we rate it from a 0.01 to a 10.0. I believe it's my turn.
It is.
I'm giving this bad boy a 9.0. I freaking loved it. I'm into cars more than I'm into planes, but I love Maverick. I love this movie. Could definitely watch it again. Didn't feel like it was 2.5 hours long. And the ending, which we won't give away, very ending where you actually stay through some of the credits as they roll, was just awesome. So there you go.
Well, I liked it a little more than Andy. I'm giving this a 9.8. It is right up there, and I prefer planes and stuff. I'm not a car guy like this, but this was superb. There wasn't a thing that I really could criticize. I wasn't bored at any point in time. I didn't feel anything was rushed. The pacing was great. The story arcs were great. I will be owning this movie, believe it or not, in 4K as soon as it comes out. I think this is almost a perfect movie. So kudos to that team, and you got a fan here.
All right. What do we got from the critics and stuff?
IMDb is giving it a 7.9.
Boo.
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 Let's see. The tomato meters from Rotten Tomatoes, the critics are giving it an 83%. So the critics liked it fairly well. The audience gives it the popcorn meter with over 5,000 verified ratings is at a 97%.
Oh, once again, DNA comes through for you guys. We will never let you down. We are your go-to source for movie reviews, your go-to source for great books. Lilineth, Infernal Conflict, launching very soon. Guys, go sign up. Link in the description below. Lilineth goes back home to the abyss where she must fight an infernal conflict. New characters, new villains, surprises. And there is the homage cover. Here are some of the new characters. Oh, look at them. Oh, yes. Stuff's going to be going down. Go check it out. Link in the description below. This week is Jurassic World. I'm seeing it Thursday night. Dennis will probably see it over the weekend. And you'll probably get a midweek review or sooner. Once again, until then, stay tuned. We will be back with the DNA show next Wednesday. Dennis has friends in town, so say bye-bye, Dennis.
Until then, live long and prosper.
Exactly.